Yo, what's up? It's your boy Dizzy, and we back with another episode of Halftime with Dizzy. Another week of football is in the books. I appreciate y'all tuning in, and I don't really know what I want to talk about today. I don't have much to talk about today, and I say that, and then I'm gonna still ramble for an hour. But yeah, let's see how this goes. Like I said, I appreciate y'all tuning in again. I don't have much to go over in this show. Before we get into the game plan and get into the show, I do want to say this. I got hit up about a shirt this past weekend. And again, if you want a too nice shirt, it's going to run you about $30. All right. Hey, don't take that up with me. Take that up with inflation. All right. It's going to run you about $30. Just send me the size you want and I'll have the shirt made. If you're in the IE or the SGV area, I'll meet you and give you the shirt. If you're not in one of those areas, I can have it sent to your house. But again, $30 is the price. Or I have a better idea. Hit that subscriber button or share this video, this channel with a friend and run that subscriber count up. Once we hit 350 subs, I'll be giving a shirt away for free, as well as gift cards and other things to, again, show my appreciation for everyone that's showing support. If you want to support the boy, then
don't ask. I said don't ask. I said don't ask. No questions. Just give the money.
let's get into the game plan, man. Like I said, not a lot to get into in this show. Halftime headlines. Rowland High School, man, they ain't been shit for a long time, but they're 5-0 right now, so I'm gonna talk about them a little bit. I got a top 5, my favorite play calls from this past weekend. That's gonna be one that you want to definitely pay attention to. We got no huddle, we got flag on the play, we got he's diffy, of course. We got some predictions and wrapping it all up with the halftime speech, man. Yeah, that's the game plan. I mean, like I said, I don't have much. So let's just get right into it. Like I said, Rowland High School undefeated right now through 5 weeks. Got a big win over Diamond Bar to improve to 5-0 for the first time since 2009. If you follow me, then you already probably saw my video that I did last week, kind of shedding some light on their season. And I just want to further talk about them because, again, they're a smaller school in the Valley that doesn't get a lot of recognition, not a lot of publicity, but they deserve it. They're 5-0. They're working hard, obviously. And just because they may not be as flashy and as talented as the higher division schools doesn't mean that they're not working hard and they're not deserving of that recognition and that publicity. And I really wanted to just talk about their head coach, Citos Marinez. Man, when I gave that rant last week about coaches in high school football, and really, I'm not gonna lie, the rant was about the IE, about the SGV, and how these coaches aren't doing right by these kids, aren't doing it the right way, really trying to teach these kids, really trying to put these kids in the right position to succeed. Coach Marinez, he's doing all of that, man. He's doing all of that. I went to their practice last week, and just by that one practice, I could see that he has the kids' best interest in mind. He's an alumni. He went to Rowland back in the day, and he's just really trying to turn that program around. And I see him doing it in a way that isn't really common when you go and watch other teams practice. He's really nailing down the mental side of the game. He's really trying to get these kids to understand what they're doing, why they're doing, how they have to do it before they go out on the field and actually have to execute and perform. And again, that's something that you don't see. A lot of times you seeing coaches just reel in talent and say, all right, I'm just gonna let the talent go on the field and do what they do, and then when it doesn't work out, they're trying to blame the kids, but it falls back on coaching. It falls back on how you coach. Another thing I mentioned was about getting kids out and how, coaches are just bringing in any school, the flashy school, the Oregons and the SCs and quote unquote recruits, from those schools just to post on Instagram. Oh, look at the school we had on campus this past week. But Coach Marinez is really trying to bring in schools to check out his guys, that his guys actually have a chance at going out there and playing on the collegiate level for that school. When I was at that practice, there was a college there checking out the practice, and Coach Marinez had some of his top guys go talk to that recruiter. I won't name the school, but it is a school that I think kids on that team can go and play for. It's not unrealistic. And I think, again, Coach Marinez is just putting his team, his kids in position to succeed. And I really liked seeing that. I felt like it was a real breath of fresh air in terms of what we're seeing in high school football today. Going down there to a smaller school and seeing a coach do things the right way and how it should be done, a team do things the right way. Like I said, a real breath of fresh air. And I hope they keep winning, man. I hope they keep rolling. I wish them the best of luck. I told Coach Marinez, on Fridays, I'm at Ahmad, because Justin, he on the team, my baby brother. But if they keep rolling and they make a deep playoff run, best believe I will be at Rowland, cheering them on and covering their game in the near future. So again, I just wanted to shed some light on that school that again isn't getting a lot of pub, getting a lot of recognition, but they definitely deserve it. Let's move on to top 5. Top 5.
If you got a problem, take it up with my butt. He's the only one that gives a crap.
All right, look. I don't know if I ever have been or ever will be as excited for a top 5 as I am right now. These are the top 5 best play calls, my favorite play calls from this past weekend. And let me tell you something, man. I'm an offensive guy. I played offense my whole life, so I love watching offense. I eventually want to coach and be an offensive coordinator and call plays, be a tight ends coach, something like that. And so when I see a good play ran by the offense, a creative play ran by the offense, it really puts some pressure on the fabric. You know what I'm saying? It wakes my little man up a little bit. I'm sorry. I know you probably didn't want to hear that or visualize that, but that's just how passionate I am about seeing good plays ran on offense. Now, I know I probably could have just said that I'm very passionate about it, but I just wanted you to really know. I wanted it to really hit home how I feel about seeing good plays on offense. And so this past weekend, watching all the football that I've watched, these are 5 plays that I really enjoyed watching. And let's get right into it. So let's start with the Detroit Lions against the Cleveland Browns. Remember a couple weeks ago when I said that running inside zone, running power, running counter doesn't just have to be lining up under center and running it the same way all game. Get creative with it. Have some motions, have some RPOs with it. No one does it quite like the Detroit Lions do. And I'm actually kind of surprised because I thought they would kind of lose this flavor after losing Ben Johnson. But check out how they run this zone play right here. So first, you're going to get Amon-Ra to motion over, and he's going to come back around and go this way. That's your RPO. So Jared Goff is going to see that this guy is straight man-to-man. It's a lock right here, and so which means this guy's going to come in with Amon-Ra but then go back out. You only have these 2 guys blocking on the edge. So if you throw that RPO, this defender will come up free. So that means you're going to run the ball, which is fine because Detroit has enough guys to block the guys in the box. You're going to get block here on Myles Garrett, who's playing crazy, by the way. Guard's going to come out. This tackle is actually going to fold underneath and come block this linebacker. Center's going to go down on this guy. This guard is going to get to the next level. Tackle's going to go here. And you're going to get a handoff to Jahmyr Gibbs right up the middle, and he's going to go take it for a big gain. Let's take a look. So again, when running these really basic plays, the inside zones, the counter, the power, you don't have to be basic. You can add some things to make the defense think and to really make an easier read for your quarterback and get multiple results from one play. Jared Goff could have passed it, handed it off. Hell, I don't think we would have wanted to see it, but he probably could have kept it and ran it himself as well. That probably was an option. That's number 5 on the list. Let's move to number 4. And that's going to be Notre Dame. They're going to run a fake punt against Arkansas. I mean, at this point of the game, it's already like 42-13, something like that. The game's out of reach, but they sat there and said, you know what, we want to completely put the dagger in and send the crowd home early and put this game away. Here's the thing. If I'm Arkansas, I'm wondering what the hell are y'all looking at? This guy right here is a starter. This is a starter. This is a starter. I don't remember completely, but this might be a starter as well. So it should automatically be everybody saying alert, alert, alert. It's that's an awful these are both awful. Okay, just look at this one right here. Exclamation point. Alert, alert, alert. Fake punt, fake punt, fake punt. So there's not that communication by Arkansas. So here's what happens. They're going to direct snap it to Jeremiah Love. Everyone on the line is going to block out this way, giving outside zone. So everybody here is going to take off this way, thinking it's outside zone, and they couldn't stop Jeremiah Love. So they're like, oh shit, we got to find a way to stop this motherfucker. But as he's running this way, I think this guy's name was Faison. He's going to come back around and Jeremiah Love is going to pitch it to him. This is Malachi Fields. He's going to block down and then run a little out route. This is lock here, which means that if nobody is guarding Fields, this space is about to be wide open because this corner is locked up with that wide receiver. And let's take a look at how it plays out. Again, this was just a creative and ballsy call by Marcus Freeman, and it was just, his way of saying we're the superior team. We're going to show you on all three phases. Let's move on to number 3. We're going to head down to the Alabama-Georgia game. And this one, there ain't much to it. I'm sure you've seen it already. Look at this big guy over here. Oh, my goodness. What the hell is he doing out there? We're going to get a motion down, and he's going to block. He's going to block. And we're just going to throw it. We're just going to throw it to the 350-pound lineman and let him be a wrecking ball. Let's take a look. Number 2 on the list, another big game and potentially a game of the year candidate. Penn State versus Oregon. It's overtime. Oregon needs a touchdown to keep the game going. We're down here inside the 5. I like this play call because, first of all, it's a touchdown to the tight end. So I'm obviously going to be really fond of that. But I like it because they take advantage of these aggressive linebackers right here. What linebackers are reading when it comes to the running game is they're reading these guys up front. Those guys up front tell them where these guys back here are going. So when you look at what they're trying to accomplish here, they're going to block everyone down. Block everyone down. They're going to have a puller here. That tells these guys that the ball is coming somewhere over here or maybe even outside. They even going to get some run action, Oregon is, back here to make the linebackers react to that and make them start taking off this way, right? But they lose the tight end right here, Jamari Johnson, who's going to come right. I don't want to say come right inside, but that's what he does. He comes down the line, and Dante Moore is going to fake the handoff, and he's going to flip it to him. And Penn State actually does a good job. They do a good job because there's big penetration by the D-line up here, and there's kind of a fumbled snap. But, again, just watch those linebackers, how they take off and how their eyes are going to the outside, and they miss the tight end coming underneath, and Jamari Johnson does a great job of fighting and putting it in the end zone. And here we are with the last one. Before we get put the camera on me real quick. Let me tell you about how I feel about this play right here, man. This one right here, my favorite play of the weekend. And honestly, if I look back at the end of the season, if I look back at all the plays I loved, I will be very surprised if any play tops this one. I'm going to say it like this. If I say what this play did to me sexually, this video will be taken off YouTube, okay? That's why I'm gonna leave it at. All right, let's get into this last play. Number 1 on my top 5 list of best plays from this past weekend. Alabama, Georgia. Let's start by looking at the context, the situation, right? 4th quarter, you see that right there. 3rd and 5, a minute 51. You're only up a field goal. They have no timeouts. You're on your own side of the 50, which means you have to get this. If you don't get this, you're giving it back to Georgia with at least a minute left to try to get into field goal range, right? And maybe even more. Maybe they go on to score a touchdown and win the game. At the very least, they're trying to send it to overtime. So let's start here. You're going to get a motion by this receiver, okay? When he motions over, let me tell you what the defense is automatically alerting. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's quads, right? They're alerting quads, quads, quads. When defenses see quads, they automatically think sprint out, which means this guy is likely going to motion and go to the flats. You're going to get a deep out here, and you're going to get a run off here. All these guys up front are going to take off this way blocking. This running back's going to take off here and blocking. Why is that important? Because Georgia is in straight man-to-man. This guy, it's a lock here. So when this guy comes across, this guy's going with him. Pay attention to these two linebackers, okay? First of all, this guy right here, he's supposed to be locked up on the tight end. And when we press play, you're going to see him go, oh shit. But these two linebackers, here's the responsibility that I believe they had. Whichever side the back went to, that side linebacker was going to take him man-to-man. So if he comes out this way, then this guy right here is going to try to take him man-to-man, and this guy's going to blitz. The reason why I believe that is because when you press play and you see what Alabama did on this play, you see those linebackers go, oh shit. And you see number 5 here, he's going to throw his arms up like, what the fuck are you doing? And number 3 is going to be chasing ass and elbows thinking, oh my God, I'm going to get cussed out in film. So let's draw up what Alabama actually did. Motion over, right? Again, quads, which means it's got to be sprint out, right? It's got to be going to the offense's left. Wrong, okay? They are going to, again, send that motion. I don't even know what these guys end up running, but I'm assuming it's something like that. The whole line is going to block this way. So everyone's going to be coming this way. Everyone's eyes are going to be this way. They're going to send the running back here and throw the tight end on a corner route. Again, this guy's going to say, oh shit. These two guys are going to say, oh shit. And the cherry on top, Ty Simpson is going to roll out this way, half roll, and come right back this way and hit that running back wide open. And just watch the play. That was hands down my favorite play of the weekend and one of my favorite plays that I've ever seen live. Bama ends up winning the game strictly because of that play right there. And it was just crazy to see. I couldn't believe that was what they came up with. They guessed right. Georgia was in straight man-to-man, and it bit them in the ass. Those are my favorite plays from this past weekend. Let me know what y'all think, and let's move on to No Huddle.
Griffin, let go!
Let's go?
We're gonna overload their left side, force them to cover Tweeter one-on-one. And no huddles. What? I'll call the plays from the line. Defense will never know what hit them.
No Huddle. Again, man, that's just me picking a topic and giving a real quick take on it. I say real quick, but then I end up rambling again. But fuck it. That's why I love y'all, because y'all still choose to watch me. Y'all still take time out your day to listen to the shit I ramble about. But let's try to be quick. First up, Notre Dame. My take from a couple weeks ago when I said that they shouldn't have been ranked after starting 0-2. I want to provide some clarity on that because I was getting a lot of comments on the TikTok that I posted. I showed y'all one of them last week. And this past weekend, I specifically wanted to watch them to see, how good are they really? And they put straight belt to ass on Arkansas and proved that they are, in terms of talent, in terms of who Notre Dame has, they are a top 25 team. And I didn't mean to say that they aren't talented or they're not talented enough to be a top 25 team. The reason why I was upset about them still being ranked after being 0-2 is because they lost to the two best teams that they're going to play all year. And they were supposed to beat those two teams in Miami and Texas A&M. They were supposed to win those games, and they lose. And so now what's going to happen is they're going to go 10-0 these next however many weeks, and we're going to be looking at them saying they're 10-2. They got to be in the CFP. But when you look at those 10 wins, it's nobody significant. It's nobody that's shit, I got the guns poking out today, huh? Shit. It's nobody that you look at and say, oh, yeah, that's a quality win. anyone on their schedule, if there was anyone on their schedule that you're going to look at and say, okay, that's a quality win, it's the two teams they lost to at the beginning of the year. They're not in a conference, so they're not going to play in a conference championship. So again, they're going to be 10-2, having won 10 games in a row, and everyone's going to be like, oh, this is one of the best teams in the country. Let's put them in the college football playoff over a team that is in a conference, has to play in the conference championship, and now maybe has 3 losses. But because of that third loss that happened maybe in a conference championship, you're going to move them out and put Notre Dame in, which to me is not fair. When I look at teams that are in the SEC that are really good, that if they were independent and they had Notre Dame's schedule, they'd probably be undefeated. When I take all of that into account, I do think it's unfair to have them rank after starting 0-2, because guess what? When they're ranked, that means that each win that they get, they're just going to move up and up and up. And again, they're going to win 10 games in a row. So by the end of the year, they're going to be ranked a top 10 team again, having beat who? SC, your best win, Vanderbilt, your best win. To me, again, that's not fair when you got SEC teams, Big Ten teams that are playing gauntlets of a conference, of a schedule, and they're going to be on the outside looking in, while Notre Dame is celebrating that they're going to be in the college football playoff for the second year in a row. That's my take on that. And if you still don't understand it, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you. Speaking of teams that are talented but can't win against good teams, at least right now, the Baltimore Ravens. Is it time to panic? They're banged up with a lot of injuries. Lamar Jackson went down, but they said that it shouldn't be anything significant. They had other guys go down, but as of right now, they're saying there shouldn't be any crazy significant injuries. And because of that, if Lamar Jackson's healthy, if the guys are coming back after getting, banged up this past weekend, I would say no, it's not panic time for Baltimore, because their schedule after these first few games, it eases up. I do think these next 2 games will be a determining factor. I think if they can go 2-0 and then go into the bye week at, what would they be, 3-4, I think, or 3-3, then I think that makes you feel a lot better about the Ravens, because coming out of the bye, they will play the Bears, the Dolphins with no Tyreek, the Vikings with JJ McCarthy, who's been injured and didn't look good prior to being injured. They'll play the Browns after that, the Jets, Bengals with no Joe Burrow, Steelers, Bengals, Patriots, Packers, Steelers again. They usually drop one to the Steelers, and then the Packers are a team that can beat them. So at worst, they'll be 9-2 after the bye week, and they'll still be a playoff team. They'll still be in the playoffs, and once you reach the playoffs, anything can happen. So no, I don't think that is panic time yet. If they go 0-2 in these next 2 games, which are the Texans and the Rams, I'm not going to say it's impossible for them to go 0-2, but the Texans have been shaky. The Rams are a good football team, but I think the Ravens it is possible for the Ravens to beat them. But if they go 0-2 in these next 2 games, then I may think differently, but I think they'll at least go 1-1, go 9-2 after the bye. Again, at worst, they could win out. They could go 11-0 after the bye. But at worst, 9-2, and they'll be in the playoffs, and they'll be just fine. But I want to end this by saying I picked Lamar Jackson to win MVP this year. So if guys are banged up, if they are gonna play, a couple of tough opponents again, like the Packers, the Steelers have been looking good. Got the Rams in a couple weeks. Now's the time to show that you are, on track to win another MVP. Now is the time to show how valuable you truly are, which everyone already knows how valuable Lamar is. But to be MVP level, to be, okay, our eyes are on you more than Josh Allen level, I think now is the time to show that with his team being banged up. Let's move on to the last topic in No Huddle. I just want to do a quick PSA announcement. I think announcement is in PSA, so I probably don't need to say PSA announcement. But anyway, you know what the fuck I mean. Young quarterbacks. I think it's time. I mentioned this last year. I mentioned this, but it's time that us as fans and the media stop putting so much hype around these young quarterbacks coming out of college, because we hype them up. These quarterbacks end up going, first, second, third, fourth, fifth overall, and to a situation that they shouldn't be in, a situation that sucks. And then a year, 2 years, 3 years, now we're sitting there saying they fucking suck. Why the hell were they picked that high? Because we gassed them up. Because we saw them do one pro day crazy throw on air and thought, oh my God, he's the next Tom Brady. He's the next Peyton Manning. We have to stop doing that. I did a little bit of research, and from 2020's draft to 2025's draft, there have been 21 quarterbacks taken in the first round, and only about 5, maybe 6 of them are guys that you would say are really good, or maybe even in that elite status. You know, the Joe Burrows, Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, and Justin Herbert and Jordan Love are just from these first few weeks of the season. We weren't saying they were top 10 quarterbacks, you know, in the last few years. Maybe Herbert. Jaden Daniels is in that top 10 conversation. CJ Stroud was after his rookie year, but it's a little shaky now. But outside of those guys, Bo Nix has been playing well. Well, not playing well this season, but he played well last year. Outside of those guys, it's like it's guys that you're like, they might be out the league in a couple of years if they're not already. And so again, we just have to stop gassing these guys up. We have to stop taking, you know, one performance or one pro day and all these things and saying that, oh my God, these guys are generational talents and these guys are going to be the next great, the next all-time great, Hall of Fame, all that. We have to stop doing that. And I'm bringing this up now because I would hate to see an Arch Manning, a Lenore Sellers, or John Mateer be put in a situation that they're not supposed to be in, to be gassed up to the first overall pick, and now they're playing for a team that doesn't know how to put pieces around them, and now in 4 years we're calling them a bust. In 4 years we're saying, oh, what could have been? Oh, what happened to this guy? What happened to him was that he got drafted way too high, went to a bad organization, and it's hard for a quarterback to succeed when everything around him is shit. That's what happens to these young quarterbacks. So we have to stop doing that, again, as media and as sports fans. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let's move on to flag on the play.
Flag on the play.
They wind up losing 14 yards.
How about from now on you call a fair game? How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Okay. Wet Willie.
First up on flag on the play. First of all, this is gonna be quick. All right, I had some things that I didn't like this past week, but this is gonna be quick. First, I bet quite a bit this past weekend. I don't know why the hell I did. I think it was because I got paid. I ain't gonna lie. I had a little extra cheddar, so I was like, you know what, let me bet. And I probably will never bet again, because why the fuck are teams that I bet on just suddenly forget how to play football when I bet on them? I was like, the Chiefs have been bad all year. You know what's going to make the Chiefs good? If I fucking bet against them. I bet on Baltimore to win. I had them on my parlay. Baltimore goes out there and looks absolutely brain dead. They fucking suck. The Jets, I'm sitting there thinking, you know what? They play some good teams to start the year. They've looked good against them. The ball just hasn't bounced their way. They'll beat they'll beat the Dolphins. Fucking Tyreek Hill snaps his fucking leg in half, and the Dolphins still tap that ass. My God, I mean, just selling my parlays left and right, and those two teams weren't the only teams. So that's something I'm pretty upset about, and that I definitely will not be doing in the near future. Let's move on to what's next. One thing that's been trending is AJ Brown and how he feels about the Philadelphia Eagles. And I saw this tweet that quoted Chad Ochocinco, and I wanted to bring it up. He said, do you understand what that does to players mentally? I don't think fans understand. Yes, they won the game, but players want to contribute and help to win those said games. He's been telling us this for years now. Last year, he was reading his book. You're paying me $33 million. Not only am I the number one wide receiver, I'm the captain of this team for a reason. Allow me to be part of the offense. I'm going to be quick when I say this. It's time for wide receivers to stop being fucking divas. I'm sorry. I know that we want to see these guys make a lot of plays, but 4-0 is fucking 4-0. Like, me personally, when I was on a team, now again, I was never an ounce of AJ Brown's talent, so I'm not going to act like I was, but I would play tight end, so which means I went out for passes. It wasn't often, but I did. And never did I feel like after a win, I'm upset because I didn't get the ball. And I say that because you can easily be a Jamar Chase that is in a terrible situation right now with no quarterback and ain't winning games and not getting the ball, or you can appreciate the fact that your team is good enough to win games with or without you, which means when they do incorporate you, you're gonna be blowing motherfuckers out. And so I don't know. I hate the whole notion of we're 4-0, but I'm still gonna be upset. I just don't like that. And many may disagree, especially if you got AJ Brown in fantasy. But that's just my take on it, man. Let me know what y'all think. And lastly, on Flag on the Play, check out these two clips. Let me tell you, this is what happens when reality meets these YNs. These young niggas that are out here like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go out there and do my thing. You know, I got shorty in the stands. I'm about to ball. This is about to be easy. It's about to be cake. I'm sure they went on social media talking shit before the game. You know, what we doing afterwards. And then they get out there and they see motherfuckers running their way and they don't know what the fuck to do. They just start doing dumb shit. That's what happens when reality meets these YNs, man. Let me know what y'all think about this segment of Flag on the Play. And let's move on to He's Diffie.
Wide open man. Flicked into the end zone by Jerome Simpson. Oh, goodness.
First up on He's Diffie, we keep it in the family, man. You know I got to. Shout out to the squad. Brandon Witherspoon, his first collegiate start at Mount Sac. 2 pick sixes, not 1. 2 pick sixes. You might want to stop throwing this dude's way. But actually, we trying to get out. We trying to go D1. So keep throwing that motherfucker away. And so he can keep putting that film up there. Shout out to Cuzzo, man. Good shit this past weekend in your first start. That's how you wait your turn, man. And when your number's called, you make the most of it. Shout out to him. Let's move on to who's next. Greg, I should learn his name. Desroisers. Fuck, I don't know, man. I don't. When I left college, well, let me correct myself. When I was in college, I stopped fucking reading. So reading ain't a strong suit of mine. But I'm gonna put his name up right here so you know who I'm talking about. Running back from Memphis, 204 rush yards and 3 touchdowns. Hey, me and my boys, we started a new dynasty, and I am Memphis. So that's my dog. All right, that's my dog. I may not know how to say his name, but that's my dog. All right, shout out to him. Next up, Micah Alejado, QB, Hawaii, 457 pass yards and 3 touchdowns. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I'm in another dynasty with my coworkers at work, and I'm Hawaii. So that's my dog too. I got to show love. I got to get love where it's due. All right, shout out to him, man. Lastly, Matthew Stafford, quarterback for the Rams, 375 and 3 touchdowns. Hey, that's quite the stat line for an old motherfucker like Matthew Stafford, man. My dog BB, Greg, again, I ain't gonna try to say his name. Running back from Memphis, Micah Alejado, Matthew Stafford. That's all who I felt were different this past weekend, man. Let's move on to some predictions.
One thing.
Got a good slate of games that I'm going to give my predictions on this weekend, man. Starting with high school, Rancho Cucamonga going to head down to Laverne to take on the Damien Spartans. I'm going to take Damien to win this game, man. They're undefeated. They've been playing some tough opponents and coming out victorious. And honestly, Rancho's been confusing me this year. I ain't going to lie. You know, they start off against, I think it was like Marietta Vista, or something like that. Marietta Valley, I don't remember which one, but it's a team that they've battled with actually the last couple of years and had tough games with. They lose that first one, okay, cool. They play Olu, they lose that one, okay, cool. That's Olu, that's a good football team. They play Oak Hills, and this is after Oak Hills tapped that ass against Ama. Remember that? And so I'm thinking, okay, Oak Hills about to tap Rancho ass, especially because there was some shit talking and stuff going in. I'm like, all right, bet. You know, Oak Hill's gonna handle that. Rancho beats them. Rancho beats them 14-3. They don't even let up a touchdown. So I'm like, okay, maybe Rancho just had a tough couple games and they really are that. Then they let up 50 to Chaparral. Who the fuck is Chaparral? Like, what? Let up 50 to Chaparral and lose that game. They lose to Santan, which obviously they're gonna lose that one. Santan's one of the best teams in the country. I know they got some injuries over there, but like I said, Damian's rolling. And I think they have both the talent and the coach and the discipline to pull off their first win in Mission League and go 6-0 on the year. Next up, my Battling Bears. They're heading down to Valley City State University. I don't know who the fuck that is. Okay, this is the first year. This is that team's first year in the Frontier Conference. My Battling Bears are currently 0-4. Remember I said I was going to change the stickers on my helmet up there. I ain't changing them till they get a fucking win. And that is going to be this fucking weekend. They are going to beat the shit out of Valley City State University. Not because I want them to, but because they fucking need to. All my dogs that might be watching this right now, if y'all lose this fucking game, I'm going to go down there and I'm going to come out of retirement. Because at least for me, we won 2 games. At least for me, we went 2-8. We won 2 games. You feel what I'm saying? Through 4 weeks, we won 1 game. All right. I got Rocky winning this game this weekend. They fucking better. All right, let's move on. All right. Number 3, Miami, heading down to take on a rival in number 18, Florida State. It's going to be an electric atmosphere. And these are the type of games, 3 versus 18. 18's at home. It's going to be loud. It's going to be crazy. These are the type of games where lately, the underdogs kind of prevailed. But I'm still going to take Miami. Seeing Florida State, I had their game last weekend too against Virginia. Seeing how they kind of got dominated a little bit in the line of scrimmage in the trenches. That really turns me off a little bit when I see them going up against a team like Miami. So I'm going to take Miami to win this game on the road. Next up, Colorado going down to TCU. I don't know what the fuck Dion got going on right now. I don't know what the fuck Coach Primetime got going on right now. Give me TCU to win this game at home. 49ers at the Rams, Brock Purdy. He seems to be banged up again after coming back for his first game this past weekend against the Jags. The Niners ain't look too well. Look too good against the Jags. The Rams are rolling right now. I'm going to take the Rams to win this thing at home. And then lastly, a game that, on paper is supposed to be pretty good, but both teams are injured as shit. The Commanders taking on the Chargers. I might go to that game. I for whatever reason, they gave me Sunday off. Hopefully they ain't going to fire a nigga, but, yeah, I might go. Honestly, I have no one highlighted on my little Google Doc. Whoever plays, that's who's gonna win. if Jaden Daniels plays, if Terry McLaurin plays, the Commanders gonna win. If they don't play, the Chargers might win. I don't know. I just know that next week when I have my prediction record, I'm gonna be right either way with that game. All right. Let me know what you think about those picks. Let's move on to the halftime speech.
The Cinderella story is over, man. Right? They're fighting for clicks, we're fighting for wins. There's a difference. Right? There's a difference.
I'm hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right. Hell no. Joaquin said dominate, and we not doing it. I'm putting my heart in this dog. Let's go, man. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Lose this one inside your heart and find out who you really are. Make sure you look at your teammate today and you come out and you give pure hell today. This team ain't ready for us. Let's prove that they ain't ready for us. Oh, get in here. Let's go. Get in here right now. Get in here. Hey, we got 30 minutes for the rest of our lives. 30 minutes for the rest of our lives.
Halftime speech, man. You already know what it is. A little nugget to help you get through the rest of your day, week, month, year, whatever. Wherever you are in life right now, hopefully this is something that'll help you kind of push through. And my message to you today, man, and it's a message to myself as well. It's something I'm working on. Identify the bad habits and work towards eliminating them. We all have goals. We all know what we're supposed to be doing, how we're supposed to get there, and what we're supposed to be doing in order to get closer and closer, to our goals. And there's 2 things when it comes to bad habits. First of all, a lot of us ignore them, but still expect, our goals to be accomplished and things to just be, fall into our lap, which, if you watch last week's video, again, nothing's given to us. We got to go out and we got to work. So that's the first thing. You got to stop ignoring them. The second thing is we have to stop being people that think that these bad habits are like, I don't know, stank ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you got stank ass, you just hop in the shower, you know, and for the most part, you shower, and then you smell good afterwards, you know, the stank is gone. Bad habits ain't like that. It ain't just one day you have a good day and you do things the right way and then the bad habit's gone forever. No, you have to slowly, progressively chip away at that bad habit and get rid of it over time. So we have to start being more patient with the process and understanding that if we want to eliminate a bad habit, it's going to take time, and we have to be committed to doing what it takes to eliminate that bad habit. Again, that's just something that I myself am going through right now. And so I want to share it with you and again, push you a little bit if I could. That's all I got today, man. Again, I appreciate y'all watching this week. All my fans, you're going to hate this, but I don't give a fuck. I will be doing a pregame interview with Isaiah Ariaza, the starting quarterback for Damien, before their big game against Rancho. That'll be dropping Friday, so be on the lookout for that. I will be at Amat Shamana, but I do work on Friday, so I don't know if I'll be doing like the live updates because I don't even know what time I'll show up to the game. So I'm not gonna promise I'll be doing live updates, but I will be at the game. So next week I'll probably be saying, hey, Amat looking good, or you know, they might have another ass chewing coming next week. But either way, man, you know, again, appreciate y'all supporting, appreciate y'all watching. Again, if you want a shirt, hit me up. Otherwise, run up that sub count and I'll be giving one away for free. We got a lot of things in the works, man, so just stay tuned. I have another video for you real soon.